Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins ever produced, the 2002 1-cent coin that's been the center of so many collector discussions, online debates, and crazy stories about people finding small copper coins in their pocket that might be worth an absolute fortune. Believe it or not, some collectors and experts have claimed that one particular version of the 2002 1-cent coin has been valued at more than $100 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $101 million for a penny. Sounds impossible, right? But by the end of this video, you'll understand how something so small, something most people overlook every day, could have such a massive price tag attached to it. Now, before we jump into all the hype and rumors, let's go back a bit and talk about what this coin really is, what it's made of, why it exists, and how something minted in 2002 could ever become so rare or valuable. The 1-cent coin, or what most people call a penny, has always been a part of everyday American life. It's the smallest denomination in U.S. currency, but historically, it's carried a huge symbolic weight. From the picture of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side to the changing designs on the reverse, from wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial and later to the Union Shield, every single version tells a little story about American history, progress, and identity. The 2002 coin fits right into that legacy, but there's more to it than meets the EYE.so. Let's start with the basics: the design, the weight, the composition, and then we'll move into the juicy parts: the history, the minting details, the rare errors, and finally, why this particular year has sparked so much attention among collectors and treasure hunters around the world. The 2002 1-cent coin, officially called the Lincoln cent, continued the long-running design that was first introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. On the front, or the obverse side, we have the iconic bust of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, can still be found at the bottom right of Lincoln's shoulder, though many people overlook them. The portrait itself is a beautiful and dignified representation of one of the most respected presidents in American history, the man who led the nation through the Civil War and fought to end slavery. The word, liberty, appears to Lincoln's left, and the phrase, "In God we trust," arcs above his head, like a halo of moral reminder that faith and freedom walk hand in hand in American tradition. On the right side of the coin is the year, 2002, the tiny but crucial number that now defines its mystery. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial design, a structure that stands in Washington, D.C., as a tribute to Lincoln's memory and leadership. If you look closely, you can actually see the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, just like the real-life monument. That level of detail on such a small coin is mind-blowing when you think about the technology and artistry involved. Above the memorial, you'll find the words, "United States of America." Just below them is the Latin phrase, "E pluribus unum," meaning, "out of many, one." Beneath the memorial sits the denomination, 1 cent. Every line, every letter, every curve was designed to embody national pride. Now, what about the materials and weight? That's another interesting part. The 2002 penny is not made of pure copper like older coins were. Up until 1982, U.S. pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint had to switch to a cheaper alternative. So since mid-1982, pennies have been made mostly of zinc, with just a thin copper coating, only about 2.5% of the total weight. The rest, a whopping 97.5%, is zinc. The coin weighs about 2.5 grams, and it's 19.05 millimeters in diameter. It's small, light, and simple, the kind of thing you wouldn't think twice about if you saw it lying on the street. But that's exactly why it's so incredible that one of these could be worth more than the most expensive cars, mansions, and art pieces combined. The United States Mint struck hundreds of millions of pennies in 2002, at least from the three main mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark. The Denver ones carry a small D, and the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with an S mint mark. Normally, none of these coins would be particularly rare. You can still find 2002 pennies in circulation today, shiny, dull, scratched, bent, or forgotten in old drawers. So how could one of them possibly be worth over $100 million? Here's where things get interesting. Every once in a while, during the minting process, something goes wrong, or perhaps something unique happens. A coin might be struck twice, off-center, on the wrong metal planchet, or with misaligned dies. These minting errors create varieties that collectors go absolutely crazy for. Some are small and only worth a few dollars, but others can become legends in the numismatic community. For example, the famous 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double-die penny, both worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on condition. These coins prove that even a 1-cent piece can become a treasure if it's rare enough. The 2002 penny, supposedly valued at $101 million, falls into that legendary category. According to stories circulating among collectors and coin experts online, one of these pennies was struck with a unique combination of materials and minting errors that have never been seen before. Some reports say it was accidentally struck on a 24-karat gold planchet meant for a commemorative medallion. Others claim that it was a double-die obverse with a mirrored finish so perfect that it was graded as one of the finest minting errors in modern coinage history. Of course, there are also rumors that the coin was never officially released and was part of a mint experiment, possibly even a test strike, which somehow found its way into private hands. Imagine that, a small coin, accidentally created, somehow surviving the strict quality control of the U.S. Mint, and decades later surfacing to become the most talked about penny in the world. The story has a touch of mystery, a bit of luck, and a lot of fascination for collectors who believe that there's always something extraordinary hidden in the ordinary. To understand why collectors place such insane values on coins like this, you have to understand the psychology of rarity and history. In the coin world, rarity is king. The fewer examples that exist, and the more perfect the condition, the higher the price goes. When you combine rarity with historical or emotional value, the sky's the limit. A coin isn't just metal, it's a piece of time you can hold in your hand. It represents craftsmanship, politics, economics, and sometimes even pure luck. A tiny scratch, a misplaced letter, or an off-center strike can turn an ordinary penny into a priceless artifact. Now, let's talk about the condition, or what collectors call grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin, called mint state, or proof 70. The 2002 1-cent coin that reached mythical status was reportedly graded at the absolute top of the scale, with immaculate details, mirror-like surfaces, and zero visible flaws under magnification. Combine that with its supposed error characteristics, and you get a one-of-a-kind specimen. It's not just a coin, it's an anomaly. But is the $101 million valuation real? Some experts argue that this is more of a symbolic number, a hypothetical market estimate based on extreme rarity rather than an actual auction sale. No one has publicly confirmed the transaction of that amount, but what's undeniable is that the coin has captured the imagination of millions. It's been the subject of countless YouTube videos, TikTok posts, and coin collecting forums. Everyone wants to believe that there could be a penny sitting in their pocket worth more than all the money they've ever earned. And that hope keeps the story alive. When you think about it, coins like this remind us how unpredictable value really is. The same object that one person ignores can be another person's treasure. A coin minted in 2002, not even that long ago, can suddenly be seen as a time capsule, a collectible, a masterpiece of minting precision, or even a mystery waiting to be solved. The 2002 penny tells us that history isn't always ancient. Sometimes, it's right here, in the coins we spend every day. If you look closer at your own 2002 pennies, you might start noticing little details you've never paid attention to before. Maybe the letters look a bit thicker. Maybe Lincoln's jacket lines appear slightly doubled. Maybe the rim looks wider or narrower. These tiny differences could signal minting varieties. There are also proof versions, which are specially struck coins with mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs made for collectors. Proof pennies from 2002 with the S mint mark are still available online and can sell for a few dollars to a few hundred depending on their grade. But what really keeps people searching are the rumors of that one coin that slipped through the cracks, the one that could change someone's life forever. The history behind how pennies gained collector status goes way back. Coin collecting, also known as numismatics, has always fascinated humans. From ancient Roman denarii to modern commemorative issues, every coin carries a story of economy, power, and art. Pennies in particular have a special place because they've been around for so long and because they're accessible to everyone. You don't need to be rich to collect pennies. You can start with what you already have in your pocket. That's what makes the story of the 2002 penny so inspiring. It's a reminder that you never know what value might be hiding in the smallest things around you. And it's not just about money. Coins like these are a link to history. The 2002 penny was minted at the start of a new century, during a time when the world was rapidly changing. The early 2000s were years of technological revolution, global conflict, and economic shifts. The U.S. was recovering from the events of 9/11, and people were looking for stability and hope. The Lincoln cent, with its timeless message of unity and strength, continued to circulate as a quiet symbol of resilience. Maybe that's part of why collectors find emotional value in it. It's not just copper and zinc. It's history in your hand. So, if you ever come across a shiny 2002 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. Check for the mint mark. Observe the fine details. Weigh it if you can. If it's heavier or lighter than 2.5 grams, that might be a sign of something unusual. Look for doubled lettering on Liberty or In God We Trust. Examine the Lincoln Memorial lines for signs of doubling or die cracks. All these small things could indicate that you've got something more than just pocket change. Collectors today use magnifiers, digital scales, and grading services like PCGS or NGC to authenticate and grade their coins. If you ever think you've found a special 2002 penny, the best thing to do is have it professionally graded. Who knows, you might end up holding a piece of numismatic history. Even if your coin turns out to be a regular one, it's still a piece of a bigger story, a story about how ordinary things can hide extraordinary secrets. And that's the magic of coin collecting. So stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll go even deeper, exploring the minting process in 2002, the differences between proof and business strike coins, the economic context behind their production, and the verified sales and rumors that keep fueling the myth of the $101 million penny. Now let's go deeper into the incredible story behind the 2002 1-cent coin and explore what really happened at the U.S. Mint during the year. Because understanding how coins are made can reveal how mistakes or unique variations come to exist. Every coin starts with what's called a blank or planchet. These planchets are small round discs made from metal sheets. For pennies, those sheets are mostly zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. They're punched out like cookies from dough using massive industrial machines. After that, the blank coins go through a process called annealing, which means heating and cooling them so the metal becomes soft enough for the design to be stamped on. The blanks are washed, polished, and then fed into presses where steel dies strike them with thousands of pounds of pressure. In a fraction of a second, the faces of Abraham Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial are impressed into the soft metal, creating what we recognize as a penny. Now imagine the speed at which this happens. The mint produces millions of pennies every day, which means even the smallest mechanical hiccup can create something completely unique. If a die is misaligned by just a millimeter, or if it strikes twice, or if the wrong metal planchet sneaks into the machine, that's how a minting error is born. Most of these errors are caught and recycled, but sometimes one slips through, ending up in circulation, and that's where the treasure hunters come in. The U.S. Mint operates several facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and a few others for special runs. In 2002, Philadelphia and Denver handled most of the circulating penny production, while San Francisco focused on proof coins for collectors. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, the Denver coins have a small D, and the San Francisco proofs have an S. Each mint has its own quality control systems, yet even the most advanced technology can't catch every single imperfection. That's the beauty of minting. It's industrial precision mixed with just enough human error to make collecting exciting. Now here's where things take a mysterious turn. Several collectors online have reported seeing or hearing about 2002 pennies that looked or felt different. Some claim the coins were heavier, closer to 3.1 grams, the weight of older pre-1982 copper pennies, suggesting that a leftover copper planchet from decades earlier might have been used by accident. That alone would make such a coin extremely valuable. Others reported odd coloring, mirror finishes, or doubled lettering on the obverse, especially around Liberty and In God We Trust. Some claim to have proof-like strikes without mint marks, which shouldn't exist. These reports sparked debates across coin forums, social media groups, and even small news outlets. Could the U.S. Mint have accidentally struck a rare hybrid coin in 2002? Could there be an experimental strike or a misfeed that produced something truly unique? No one knows for sure, but the possibility is what keeps collectors searching. When you step into the world of coin collecting, you realize that value is built on three things: rarity, demand, and story. The 2002 penny, on its own, isn't rare, but a version of it that was struck on the wrong metal, or in proof quality without a mint mark, or with a one-of-a-kind doubling, that's where things get extraordinary. Each of those factors could multiply its worth by thousands, even millions. But add the element of mystery, the idea that one coin might be one of one, and suddenly its value becomes priceless. Think of it like art. A painting by an unknown artist might be worth a few dollars, but if it turns out to be a lost work by Leonardo da Vinci, the price skyrockets to hundreds of millions. In numismatics, the same principle applies. The right combination of history, beauty, and rarity can turn a coin into a masterpiece. And that's what many believe happened with the 2002 1-cent coin valued at $101 million according to collectors' lore. This extraordinary coin surfaced sometime in the 2010s, possibly from a private estate sale. Some claim it was graded by a top certification service, possibly PCGS or NGC, under special conditions. There's talk that the coin was struck on a gold planchet, which, if true, would be one of the most shocking minting errors in U.S. history. Others believe it was struck with a reverse die rotation, meaning the back design was perfectly upside down in relation to the front. Another theory suggests it was part of a presentation strike, coins minted for internal testing, never intended for public release. Of course, skeptics argue that the story has been exaggerated, fueled by viral posts and fake news articles claiming the coin sold for astronomical prices. But that's the interesting thing. In the coin world, even rumors can create demand. The very idea that one might exist somewhere keeps collectors hunting, hoping, Dreaming. Let's pause for a moment and think about what makes the Lincoln cent so iconic. Abraham Lincoln's portrait has been on the penny since 1909, over a century of history in one small coin. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, breaking from the tradition of using symbolic figures like liberty. It was also designed by an immigrant artist, Victor David Brenner, whose initials were controversially removed and then later restored. The penny tells a story not only of Lincoln himself but of America's evolution, from industry to technology to modern design. By 2002, that legacy was still strong. The Lincoln Memorial Reverse, introduced in 1959, was nearing the end of its run, soon to be replaced in 2010 by the Union Shield. So, in a way, the 2002 coin sits near the end of an era, the final years of one of America's most beloved coin designs. That historical timing alone adds a touch of sentimental value to the coin. When you look at a 2002 penny under magnification, you notice fine details: Lincoln's beard texture, the tiny inscriptions, the precise lines of the memorial pillars. Each die used to strike these details wears down over time, creating subtle variations. Early die strikes are sharper and more detailed, while later ones appear flatter and less defined. Collectors seek early die states because they show the design as the artist intended: crisp, perfect, and full of life. A 2002 penny from an early die pair, especially if preserved in mint state condition, can be worth more than you'd expect, sometimes $50, $100, or even $500 for a high-grade example. But when a coin displays a unique error combined with such pristine condition, the value multiplies beyond imagination. Imagine finding a penny that weighs differently, looks different, and has the kind of visual perfection that seems almost impossible. That's the dream every collector has: to stumble upon a once-in-a-lifetime coin that rewrites numismatic history. And when news spreads that such a coin might have sold privately for millions, even without confirmation, people start to believe. It's that belief that fuels the legend of the $101 million penny. Now let's talk about the market. Coin collecting is one of the world's oldest and most passionate hobbies, and it's big business. There are millions of collectors globally, and billions of dollars in transactions every year. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections handle the world's most valuable coins. When rare pieces come up, bidders from around the globe compete fiercely. We've seen pennies sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, like the 1943 bronze cent that fetched $1.7 million, or the 1958 double-die penny that sold for over $1 million. Those are real, verified sales. So, in a world where a coin can sell for over $1 million, it's not impossible to imagine a one-of-a-kind 2002 coin reaching even higher valuations if the story and rarity are compelling enough. One reason collectors love the penny is accessibility. Everyone has them. That means anyone could find treasure. You don't need to be rich to play, just observant, patient, and curious. Every coin tells a story, and every year brings new discoveries. Even modern pennies can surprise experts. For example, new double-die varieties and off-metal errors are still being discovered today, decades after their minting. The 2002 penny could easily hide a few unknown varieties yet to be documented. Let's imagine the scenario that makes a $101 million coin possible. A mint worker accidentally feeds a 24-karat gold blank into the penny press. The dies strike it perfectly, a flawless impression of Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial on solid gold. The worker, not realizing the mistake, sets it aside for inspection. Somehow, instead of being destroyed, the coin slips through and enters circulation, or perhaps it's taken as a curiosity and kept for years. Decades later, someone finds it in an old jar, polishes it, and realizes it's unlike anything they've ever seen. Tests confirm the gold composition. It's authenticated, graded, and declared unique, the only one of its kind in the world. The bidding war begins, and the rest is history. Whether that exact story is true or not, it illustrates why people are obsessed with coins. It's the perfect blend of art, luck, and mystery. And in the case of the 2002 penny, every element of that legend fits the collector's dream narrative. A modern coin with an ancient-level rarity, discovered by accident, carrying the face of America's most beloved president, and wrapped in a mystery no one can fully explain. In today's market, even without the mythical $101 million example, 2002 pennies have gained renewed attention. High-grade proof versions in PR70 deep cameo condition can sell for $50 to $100. Rare mint errors, like off-center strikes or double dies, can reach into the hundreds or thousands. Coin grading companies continue to receive 2002 pennies for evaluation, hoping to uncover new varieties. Social media has also amplified interest. Every viral post about a $1 million penny drives more people to check their change, creating a feedback loop that keeps demand alive. If you think about it, that's the magic of modern collectibles. We live in an age where stories, myths, and digital communities can transform perception, and perception drives value. Even if the $101 million sale was never verified, the belief that it could happen makes people care more, look closer, and appreciate the artistry of coins they used to ignore. Coins like the 2002 penny remind us that value is not always logical. Sometimes it's emotional, sometimes cultural, sometimes pure chance. But that's what keeps it fascinating. Somewhere out there, in a coin jar, in a drawer, maybe even in someone's pocket, there could be a tiny copper coin that holds the key to a life-changing discovery. And the next person to find it could be you. Every time a story like this surfaces, a single penny supposedly worth $101 million, the internet goes wild. Social media posts explode, coin collectors rush to grab their magnifying glasses, and suddenly, every drawer full of old coins feels like buried treasure. But what makes people so obsessed? Why does the idea of finding a fortune in something so ordinary captivate us so deeply? To answer that, we have to look at the psychology of collecting, the mystery of money itself, and the strange way humans attach value to stories. Coin collecting, or numismatics, isn't just a hobby, it's a reflection of how we connect with history. Every coin carries time within it. When you hold a coin, you're touching something that's passed through countless hands, traveled across borders, and witnessed everyday life unfold. Some coins survive wars, depressions, and revolutions. They're silent witnesses of history. And that's what fascinates collectors. It's not just metal, it's memory. When we talk about a 2002 penny being worth $101 million, we're really talking about more than money. We're talking about meaning. Imagine you find such a coin. It's not only about becoming rich, it's about the thrill of discovery, the idea that something overlooked by everyone else could change your life forever. That feeling of finding value in the ordinary is universal. It speaks to human curiosity and hope. That's why even the rumor of a $101 million coin keeps people searching. Now let's step back and analyze the market side of this story. The coin collecting market works much like the art world. Rarity, provenance, and story create value. The rarer the coin and the better its story, the higher the demand. Provenance means the coin's documented history, where it came from, who owned it, and how it was discovered. If a coin with a fascinating backstory surfaces, collectors compete fiercely for it. Some see it as an investment, others as a piece of art, and many as a connection to history itself. So, when people hear about a 2002 penny that could be worth $101 million, it immediately ticks all three boxes. It's rumored to be one of a kind. Rarity, it supposedly has a mysterious minting origin, provenance, and it carries a compelling story, discovery, and legend. Whether or not that specific figure is real, The structure of the myth perfectly aligns with what drives value in collectibles. Now, how do collectors determine what a coin is truly worth? It begins with grading and authentication. Every serious collector knows that without authentication, a coin's value is just speculation. Two of the most respected grading services are PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. These organizations use advanced technology, microscopes, and expert graders to verify the authenticity and condition of each coin. When a coin is graded, it's sealed in a transparent plastic case called a slab, labeled with its grade and certification number. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, which runs from 1 to 70. A 1 means the coin is barely identifiable, worn almost smooth, while a 70 means it's in perfect, flawless condition, even under 5x magnification. Mint state MS 70 or Proof 70 coins are incredibly rare and often command premium prices. The supposed $101 million 2002 penny, according to legend, was said to be flawless, a perfect strike, no scratches, nowhere, just pure mint brilliance. Combine that with an error or unique composition, and you have a coin that collectors would go to war over. But not all stories are true. Over the years, the numismatic community has seen plenty of exaggerated claims and scams. People find slightly odd-looking coins, believe they've discovered a fortune, and start spreading unverified information online. Some even alter coins intentionally, using chemicals, heat, or cutting tools to create fake errors. That's why expert verification is crucial. Real minting errors have specific characteristics: raised doubling instead of flat shadows, natural metal flow lines, and consistent texture across both sides. A genuine mint error looks organic, not manufactured. If you want to know whether your 2002 penny could be special, here's what you can do. Start by checking its weight. A normal post 1982 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. If yours weighs closer to 3.1 grams, it might have been struck on a leftover copper planchet, a major error that can make it worth hundreds or even thousands. Next, check for doubling, especially on the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date, 2002. Real double-die coins show clear, raised outlines of the letters, not just blurry shadows. Finally, inspect the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial, for any die cracks, extra lines, or signs of misalignment. These small details can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Even small variations can have big impacts. For instance, a 1992 penny with a close AM variety where the letters A and M in America almost touch can be worth thousands of dollars. Similar varieties exist across other years. That's why collectors check every little detail. In the world of coins, microscopic differences create million-dollar distinctions. Now, let's return to the emotional and cultural side of the story. Why the 2002 penny resonates so strongly. Think about what Abraham Lincoln represents: freedom, unity, perseverance. His image on the smallest coin reminds people that greatness can come from humility. It's a poetic idea. The face of a man who rose from poverty to presidency printed on the coin of least value. That contrast gives the penny symbolic depth. And when you add the idea that one of these pennies could secretly be worth millions, it becomes almost mythic, the embodiment of the American dream. People love stories where something small becomes extraordinary. It's the same reason people search for hidden treasure, buy lottery tickets, or dig through attic boxes looking for forgotten antiques. The 2002 penny legend taps into that timeless hope. And unlike fantasy treasure hunts, this one feels real. After all, everyone has pennies. The possibility that a priceless one might be sitting in your home makes the story personal. The rise of digital media has made these legends spread faster than ever. You'll find countless videos claiming someone found a $100 million penny, TikTok showing magnified details of rare coins, and articles listing 10 modern pennies worth a fortune. Some of these are clickbait, but others have a kernel of truth. There really are modern pennies selling for thousands due to rare varieties and minting errors. For example, a 1999 wide AM penny can fetch over $5,000, and a 1995 double die penny can reach several thousand depending on condition. So the 2002 penny, while rare in its rumored form, sits within a believable spectrum of coin values. Now, let's talk about the economy and perception. Why would anyone pay so much for a coin? Because value isn't just about utility, it's about rarity, demand, and emotion. The entire collector economy runs on passion. People buy rare stamps, vintage cars, old baseball cards, or ancient artifacts for millions. To them, these aren't just purchases. They're symbols of achievement, connection, and history. The same applies to coins. The buyer of a $101 million penny isn't paying for its metal. They're paying for what it represents: perfection, rarity, and the idea that it's one of one. In recent years, investment firms have even started treating rare coins as assets, similar to fine art. They're stable, tangible, and often appreciate over time. Coins graded at the highest levels, or with historical importance, can outperform traditional investments. So, while a $101 million penny might sound outrageous, in the ultra-elite world of high-end collectors, it's not impossible. Another fascinating aspect is how coins serve as mirrors of their time. The 2002 penny, minted in the early years of the 21st century, symbolizes transition. The world was moving into the digital age, yet physical money still held emotional weight. The U.S. economy was recovering from shocks, the internet was changing everything, and yet the humble penny, a symbol of continuity, persisted. That gives the 2002 coin a subtle cultural significance. It represents endurance amid change, tradition surviving technology. Even today, debates continue about whether the U.S. should eliminate the penny altogether due to its low purchasing power and production costs. It actually costs more than 1 cent to make each penny. But the idea of removing it sparks backlash. People feel attached to it emotionally, not economically. That attachment is exactly why stories, like the $101 million penny, captivate so many hearts. The coin isn't just metal, it's memory, nostalgia, and identity. Collectors often describe their first valuable find as a moment of magic, that sudden realization that a small, shiny object could carry history and worth beyond imagination. It changes how they see the world. Suddenly, every coin becomes a mystery waiting to be solved. The 2002 penny story keeps that spark alive for a new generation. It invites curiosity, patience, and the joy of discovery, values that go far beyond money. Imagine this scene. Someone cleaning out an old piggy bank finds a 2002 penny that looks slightly different, brighter, heavier, almost glowing under the light. They check it online, match the details, send it for grading, and then the unimaginable happens. It turns out to be the coin, the one everyone's been talking about. Overnight, their life changes. Whether or not that's ever happened, the idea itself keeps people searching. It's modern mythology, a real-world legend of luck, history, and human wonder. And that's the real power of this story. The 2002 1-cent coin might be worth $101 million, or it might just be worth 1 cent. But its story is priceless. It connects people to curiosity, history, and the simple idea that magic can exist in the smallest things. Maybe that's why the penny was chosen to carry Lincoln's image, a reminder that greatness can rise from the humblest beginnings. So, the next time you see a 2002 penny in your change, don't just toss it aside. Look at it closely. Feel its weight. Imagine the journey it's been on. Who knows, Maybe you're holding the next legendary coin, the next great mystery, or maybe just a quiet piece of history that's still telling its story 1 cent at a time. The story of the 2002 1 cent coin continues to expand beyond its metal, its minting, or even its history. It has evolved into something far greater, a symbol of discovery, of luck, and of the unpredictable world of numismatics. By the time the coin began gaining fame across online marketplaces and collector forums, its legend had already begun to reshape how people viewed everyday pocket change. Suddenly, every penny mattered. Every coin that had once gone unnoticed in drawers and jars became a potential treasure waiting to be found. And among these, the 2002 penny became a golden mystery in copper disguise. Collectors often speak of the thrill of the hunt, and the 2002 1 cent coin embodies that feeling perfectly. Somewhere between myth and measurable fact, the market began noticing strange pricing spikes for specific examples of this penny. Sellers started listing rare mint errors, double die obverse, and unusual toning pennies on eBay, Etsy, and numismatic auction sites. Some were clearly overvalued hype, but a few, very few, were the real deal. A handful of these coins, authenticated by professional graders like PCGS and NGC, showed distinct minting errors or flawless conditions that dramatically raised their value. A regular penny might be worth 1 cent, but a rare mint error from 2002 could sell anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars. But how did rumors of a $101 million value even begin? It's a question that has baffled collectors and skeptics alike. Many trace it back to viral social media posts and short videos that claimed, "This 2002 penny is worth $101 million." While no such confirmed sale has ever taken place, the myth spread like wildfire, blending genuine numismatic interest with the irresistible lure of instant fortune. Some online creators showcased images of high-grade coins, rare misprints, and proof versions under dramatic lighting, suggesting they were valued in the tens of millions. As the content spread, so did curiosity. The truth is, number 2002 penny has ever officially sold for $101 million, but the idea of that possibility has kept the conversation alive, fueling a mix of education, speculation, and excitement. That's not to say the coin is worthless. Far from it. Certain variants of the 2002 penny can indeed fetch incredible sums. For instance, the 2002 wide AM Lincoln cent, which features a wider space between the A and M in America on the reverse side, is a known rarity that commands significant collector interest. Similarly, the 2002 close AM variant, typically seen in proof coins, has occasionally been struck on circulation coins, a genuine mint anomaly. These small variations, invisible to the untrained eye, can multiply a coin's value many times over. Graded examples in perfect mint state, MS-70, condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if they exhibit bright red luster, sharp details, and full strike. In the collector market, value is influenced by three pillars: rarity, condition, and demand. The 2002 penny hits all three in subtle but powerful ways. Rarity, because specific mint errors from that year are scarce. Condition, because only a fraction of the millions produced have survived in pristine, untouched quality. And demand, because the myth of the $101 million coin has captivated millions of minds worldwide. This combination keeps the 2002 penny constantly in conversation, not merely as currency, but as a piece of cultural fascination. Beyond financial value, the story of this coin also reflects the broader transformation of how modern collectors interact with history. In an age of digital economies and cashless transactions, coins like the 2002 cent remind us that physical currency carries stories of design, of labor, of national identity, and of mystery. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909, has long been a staple of American change, but its continued evolution keeps it alive in the minds of both seasoned numismatists and new enthusiasts. By 2002, its reverse design with the Lincoln Memorial had already seen decades of production, yet it retained a familiar comfort that made it an enduring symbol of everyday life. The design itself plays an important role in why collectors find these coins so visually appealing. The obverse features the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner, a design that has remained on the penny for over a century. The reverse side, crafted by Frank Gasparo, shows the Lincoln Memorial, a monument that mirrors the coin's own purpose, to remind the public of endurance, memory, and unity. The detail within the design, such as the visible statue of Lincoln inside the memorial and the sharp lettering of E pluribus unum, gives the coin both artistic and historical depth. Weight-wise, the 2002 penny continues the tradition set in the early 1980s. Composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, it weighs 2.5 grams. However, collectors occasionally find transitional errors or off-metal strikes, where a coin was accidentally struck using older metal compositions. Such specimens are rare and can dramatically raise a coin's market value, sometimes into 5 or 6 figures. The interplay of these technical details adds another layer of intrigue to what most people might dismiss as simple change. As word spread online, the 2002 penny became a viral search term. YouTube channels, TikTok videos, and Facebook posts began urging viewers to check your change for this rare coin. Many videos use dramatic thumbnails, glowing coins, shocked expressions, and captions like, "Worth $101 million?" While most of these were exaggerations, they served an important purpose. They revived interest in coin collecting for a new generation. People began digging through old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers, rediscovering the thrill of finding something extraordinary among the ordinary. The coin's supposed $101 million value, while fictional, served as a spark. It turned passive curiosity into active exploration. Coin forums started buzzing with activity, new collectors learned grading scales, and young people began understanding the minting process, all because of one viral myth. Ironically, that myth may have done more for numismatic education than years of traditional outreach. The fascination became self-sustaining. Whether or not a single coin could ever be worth such a sum didn't matter. The possibility was enough to inspire hope, learning, and fascination. Meanwhile, serious collectors continued their pursuit of verifiable facts. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers recorded notable sales of 2002 pennies in flawless condition, often encased in slabs from PCGS or NGC. The recorded prices, while not in the millions, were impressive, sometimes crossing several $1,000s, especially for coins exhibiting rare minting errors. Double die pennies, where parts of the lettering or Lincoln's profile appear slightly duplicated due to misalignment during striking, remain some of the most prized finds. Similarly, coins with off-center strikes or missing layers command strong interest from error specialists. As the market matured, the 2002 penny transitioned from myth to legitimate collectible. It became a reminder of how perception and rarity intertwine in modern coin culture. Its story reflects how quickly the digital age can amplify even the smallest rumor, turning it into a global phenomenon. And yet, within that hype, lies a core of truth. Certain coins from 2002 are genuinely valuable. The emotional impact of this coin story is equally powerful. Many collectors describe the moment they first heard about the $1 million penny as a kind of spark, an invitation to believe in luck again. It's not just about the money. It's about the idea that hidden within the smallest, most overlooked objects, there might lie something extraordinary. That simple penny, often stepped on, dropped, or forgotten, suddenly became a symbol of potential, and perhaps that's what makes the legend of the 2002 one-cent coin so enduring. It reminds us that value is not always visible. It can be hidden in the familiar, waiting for the right eyes to notice. It's about discovery, not just of rare coins, but of meaning, history, and possibility. As we move deeper into the modern numismatic world, where AI detection, advanced microscopes, and online databases make identifying varieties easier than ever, the story of the 2002 penny continues to evolve. Some experts believe that more undiscovered variants may still exist in circulation. Others think that the excitement around it has already created a permanent mark in collector culture, ensuring that even common 2002 pennies will always attract attention. In truth, whether it's worth 1 cent or 100 million, the 2002 penny has already achieved something priceless. It has captured the imagination of millions. It has reminded people that history isn't buried in museums or locked in safes. Sometimes, it's jingling right in your pocket. The journey of the 2002 one-cent coin reaches its grandest chapter, the one where myth, money, and meaning merge into a single story. For over 2 decades now, this humble penny has quietly traveled from palm to palm, from dusty drawers to digital auctions, from rumor to reverence. And while not every coin can claim to be worth millions, every story told about it adds to its worth in another way, through fascination, curiosity, and belief. Collectors often say, "Coins talk." They tell the story of their era, their people, their design, and even the mistakes that make them rare. The 2002 penny speaks too. It speaks of a generation where technology met tradition, where rumors turned into lessons, and where a single cent sparked a movement of millions searching for hidden treasure. It is a story that began in the U.S. mint presses, in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, where billions of pennies were struck, each identical to the eye, yet destined for different fates. Some would end up in parking meters, vending machines, or wallets. Others would find themselves in collections, in protective slabs, admired under magnifying lenses for their perfect luster. But among those billions, there were a few anomalies, slight errors invisible to most, yet unmistakable to the trained eye. A doubled Liberty, an extra thickness in the date, a faint crack in the planchet, or a subtle color shift from years of storage. Each imperfection added personality. Each detail, however small, became the fingerprint that could turn a 1-cent coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. As collectors began uncovering more of these details, the story of the 2002 penny expanded further. Entire YouTube channels were built around finding these hidden treasures. Long discussions unfolded on forums and Facebook groups. People from all walks of life, mechanics, teachers, shop owners, students, began checking their loose change with magnifying glasses and bright desk lamps. For many, this search wasn't just about profit. It was about the thrill. The idea that destiny could hide in something as common as a penny gave people a reason to look closer at the world around them. The fascination wasn't limited to America. The story spread worldwide. In Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, collectors started comparing their own versions of low-denomination coins, searching for minting errors, special markings, and hidden designs. The spirit of the 2002 penny inspired a global appreciation for numismatics, the art and science of coins. Even those who never found a rare one discovered something else: patience, attention to detail, and the quiet joy of discovery. By the mid-2020s, the myth of the $101 million penny had achieved legendary status. Thousands of social media posts declared that someone somewhere had found the coin, the one worth more than any other. While no verified sale ever confirmed such a staggering price, the legend refused to die. And maybe it never will, because legends aren't about proof. They're about possibility. What truly matters isn't whether a 2002 penny actually sold for $101 million. What matters is what it represented, the dream that something small could hold unimaginable worth. That dream has inspired a wave of modern collectors who now approach coins not just as currency, but as art, as history, and as living relics of time. The coin's design plays a huge role in its enduring appeal. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse is more than just a profile. It's a symbol of honesty, perseverance, and leadership. The reverse side, with Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design, doubles as a hidden tribute. Inside the memorial, if you look closely, sits the tiny engraved statue of Lincoln himself, reminding us that greatness is built layer by layer, detail by detail. This dual symbolism, Lincoln on both sides, makes the penny a metaphor for reflection, for unity between the nation's ideals and its everyday people. The weight of the coin, 2.5 grams of zinc coated in copper, might sound ordinary, but it's a perfect balance of precision and economy. Since 1982, when the mint switched from solid copper to copper-plated zinc, this composition has saved millions in production costs. Yet it has also created distinct varieties that collectors love. Some transitional coins from that year were accidentally struck on old copper planchets, instantly becoming numismatic treasures. For the 2002 edition, while most are standard, certain rare off-metal strikes or uncirculated examples can still fetch high prices among enthusiasts. When it comes to actual market value, verified records show that pristine, uncirculated 2002 pennies with special features, such as wide AM varieties or double die obverse, have sold for hundreds to even several $1,000s. Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, have both authenticated some of these exceptional examples. Their slabbed labels serve as certificates of authenticity, transforming an ordinary coin into an officially recognized collectible. Beyond auctions and certification, what's most beautiful about the 2002 penny phenomenon is how it changed everyday behavior. People began to see the value in observation. Children started asking their parents to let them check old piggy banks. Elderly collectors dusted off albums they hadn't opened in decades. Families bonded over stories of coins found in the most unexpected places, between couch cushions, at flea markets, or inside old envelopes inherited from grandparents. The penny, in all its smallness, became a teacher. It taught patience. Because finding a valuable coin requires time, knowledge, and persistence. It taught perspective. Because what seems worthless to one person might be priceless to another, and it taught gratitude. Because it reminded everyone that luck, beauty, and history often hide in plain sight. As the years went on, the 2002 penny became part of a larger movement, a reawakening of appreciation for physical money in an increasingly digital world. When cryptocurrency and contactless payments became the norm, collectors found comfort in the tangible, in something they could hold, study, and cherish. The 2002 penny, in that sense, became a symbol of resistance to forgetfulness, a reminder that even in progress, we should never lose touch with the small stories that built us. And then, there's the emotional side. For many, the story of this coin has mirrored their own life experiences. People who felt overlooked, underestimated, or worthless in the eyes of the world found inspiration in the idea that something as humble as a penny could be seen as precious. The legend of the $101 million penny became a metaphor for human worth, that every soul, no matter how ordinary, holds extraordinary potential when seen in the right light. Today, when collectors gather at conventions or chat online, the 2002 penny is still mentioned with a sense of awe and nostalgia. It has become more than an artifact. It's a piece of storytelling culture. Some display their finest specimens proudly. Others keep theirs tucked safely in albums, waiting for a day when the world might rediscover their value. The market, as always, continues to fluctuate, but the emotional value, that feeling of holding a piece of mystery, never fades. So what is the real worth of a 2002 1-cent coin? The official market might say anywhere from 1 cent to a few $1,000s, depending on grade, error, and condition. But if we look beyond the charts and the prices, its true worth is immeasurable. Because it's not just about the coin, it's about the community it built, the excitement it sparked, and the meaning it gave to people who needed a reminder that even the smallest things can hold big stories. As we close this journey, imagine holding a 2002 penny in your hand right now. Feel its weight, light but meaningful. See the soft copper glow under the light. Notice the words, "In God we trust, liberty," and the date that now feels more significant than ever. That tiny coin carries more than monetary value. It carries time, hope, history, and possibility. It's a bridge between generations, between those who made it, those who used it, and those who now treasure it. And maybe, just maybe, one day someone will stumble upon that one special 2002 penny, flawless, unique, and shining brighter than all others. Maybe it won't sell for $101 million, but it will still be priceless, because it will represent what this story has always been about. Finding greatness in simplicity. So the next time you see a penny lying on the ground, don't ignore it. Pick it up. Look closely. There's a chance, however small, that you might just be holding a piece of history. Or maybe something even rarer, a reminder that even the smallest coin can carry the biggest dream. Because in the end, the 2002 1-cent coin isn't just worth money. It's worth wonder. It's worth memory. It's worth believing in again.